Hello students, this is part 2 of section 5.3, multiplying polynomials. Our objective for this lesson is to be able to use special product formulas to multiply two binomials. So let's get started. Here we have three rules that are really important to help us kind of make FOIL a little bit easier. And so we have the sum and difference of two terms. So if we have u plus v times u minus v, so we have the same thing in front, the same thing in back with different signs, then we're going to end up with u squared minus v squared. And finally we have perfect squares, so we have u plus v squared, and we have u minus v squared. You can see there that the first and last terms are both going to be positive, u squared and v squared. And then the middle term is going to be positive or negative depending upon whether it's u plus v squared or u minus v squared. So let's see what this looks like in practice. So here we have the product of the sum and difference of two terms. So let's remember our formula. If we have u plus v times u minus v, we're supposed to get u squared minus v squared. So in this case, we can think of u as x, and we can think of v as positive 2. So our formula should tell us that this is u squared, or x squared, minus v squared, and since v is 2, 2 squared is 4. So our answer in this case is x squared minus 4. And just to confirm here, we can use the FOIL method. We have x times x, which is x squared. Outer times outer, that's going to give us minus 2x. Inner times inner is going to give us plus 2x. And last times last is going to give us minus 4. And we can see that plus 2x and minus 2x are going to cancel each other out. And we do in fact get x squared minus 4. So here we have squaring a binomial. We have x plus 5 squared. So remember our formula said if this was the case, if we had u plus v squared, we should end up with u squared plus 2 times u times v plus v squared. So here u equals x and v equals 5. So the formula tells us that this should be x squared u squared plus 2 times u, which is x, times v, which is 5, plus v squared, which is 5 times 5, or 25. So the formula tells us that this should be x squared plus 10x plus 25. And if you want, you can FOIL this out and check and confirm that this answer is correct. And finally, we get to example 3, which is cubing a binomial. So this is kind of a two-step process. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to separate this. I'm going to write this as x plus 5 times x plus 5 squared. And the reason I'm going to do that is because we just showed how to square a binomial. So this ends up being x plus 5, the binomial, times the square of the binomial, which we just found out was x squared plus 10x plus 25. We did that on the previous slide. So I'm going to use the horizontal format for multiplication. I'm going to do x times x squared, which is going to give me x to the third. X times plus 10x, that's going to give me plus 10x squared. And finally, x times positive 25, that's going to give me plus 25 times x. I'm going to multiply 5 by x squared, so that's plus 5x squared. Plus 5 times 10, that's going to be plus 50x. And plus 5 times positive 25, that's going to give me plus 125. So now I'm going to write in descending power of the exponent. So x to the third. Get rid of that. I have 10x squared plus 5x squared. That's plus 15x squared. Plus 25 plus 50. That's going to give me plus 75x. And then the lone constant plus 125. Okay, so in this case we've seen some of the special rules to use when multiplying polynomials. We looked at a binomial multiplied by itself with different signs in the middle. We looked at squaring a binomial and cubing a binomial. And that concludes this video lecture. This is part 2 of section 5.3.